Welcome to Dirty AF, the podcast where we get down and dirty with dirt track racer Jason Brandes and his race crew. We'll go over highlights, lowlights, and everything in between. Sometimes you'll laugh, sometimes you'll cry, and there might even be times where you get downright angry with us. But in every episode, we hope that you are left with the desire to join us in getting dirty as...
Alright, welcome to the second season of Dirty AF, Episode 1. I'm your host, Nicole Wilson, and it is the evening of April 29th, 2022, and I am sitting here tonight after the Friday night races at Gravity Park with Jason Brandes, 8B car driver, and his crew chief, Jolly. On the track tonight, Jason came in second in the heat and fifth in the feature. So, what was going through your head tonight, boys?
Car's got all kinds of power, I can tell you that. She's good on the bottom, she's on the top. Some ass hats driving out there, that was kind of fun.
There was a lot of bumping around in the second race.
I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, the caution after the first caution, I think when you got tied back up in the group and you had to start back in your starting grid kind of sucked. Because you had a nice run on that first lap and you were up the third, you bounced out the third right away, and then when they stacked you back up in the original starting position, then everybody was banging and bumping. And
Yeah, it felt like people got throttle happy all of a sudden in places they shouldn't have been throttle happy.
Yeah, and it got a little ugly there. There was a whole lot of rubbing and bouncing and pushing and shoving.
I almost lost her there in turn 2.
I saw that.
Yep. That tells you how loose the car was up on the high side.
Nice save.
I tried my bestest.
You didn't hit a tire.
I didn't hit a tire. I grazed one.
I think everybody else hit you, but I don't think you hit a tire.
I grazed one. And don't worry, I let go of the steering wheel so no thumb got in the...
Yeah.
You know,
That's solid. No thumb problems. Oh, is that why that front bumper is a little white?
Probably. There was probably a tire involved.
But
Tried my best to stay off of them, though.
But for being rained out and all the issues we had getting this car running in a short period of time, and
It's a good thing we know a guy.
yeah, we know a guy.
That engine guy, he's something else, ain't he?
Yeah.
Call him, he's here on a dime.
So what did it take to get the car ready for this season?
A lot.
About 3 weeks straight of working on the car.
Non-stop. Sun up, sun down.
How many days did it take us from the bare roll cage to have the car actually together and ready?
I think we were
13
done.
days?
I think we were done, completely done, I think. Buttoned up, ready for paint. I think it was 16 total days, right? 16 total.
You know,
And it wasn't real warm to do that job either.
Yeah, if it was a little bit of a warmer spring, we'd had a little more motivation. But
Right. But
when it keeps snowing and freezing to death.
Yeah, she's still 10 below outside. I ain't coming out my house. I'm sorry. It's not ice fishing, you know.
So what all changed from the car from last season to this season?
Well, we thought we lightened her up, but apparently if you tear out a stock firewall and put an aftermarket one back in, we don't lighten it up much.
Otherwise, really not much.
Other than
freshening up some parts. That was it.
other than having our guy, our main guy at this point, build us a brand new motor. Pretty much. I mean, there was mishap breaking the first motor in. That was a little nonchalant deal there, I think. We turned that motor around in a day. We had it out in an hour. Had it by the builder in 3 hours later. Tore it apart the next morning. Had it back together that night. Had it broken and running Saturday by 10 to 7, I think it was. Sunday we brought it to practice. I don't know. Teamwork. That's what makes it happen. Some long hours, but what do you do?
Yeah, other than that, I'm just happy it made it through the races. And
it's still somewhat straight.
Hey, week 1 we didn't blow a tranny like last year.
Oh my God! Thank God for that.
We
Jesus.
finished in the top 5.
Yep. Yeah. I guess
to
there's
start
positive.
the season instead of last like we did last year.
I guess that's a bonus.
I mean, we made all 28 laps. We went on the track that runs, so.
And, I got to say this too. According to the Facebook post that was earlier this week, I believe Mike Zitzer is the one that did get the chance to scratch the paint first.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah.
I think he's going to realize, though, that back bumper
He
is
should
a
not hit that.
little bit harder
Yeah, he
than it
shouldn't-
was last year.
He shouldn't
I
hit that
have a
no
feeling
more.
that left the mark.
Yeah, he shouldn't hit that no more.
After last year's hill runs, we decided to beef up the rear bumper, and I'm going to tell you,
We
got hit
know a
hard.
fabricator for that job.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, there's a little P transfer, but there ain't a dent in the back right now. So
Yeah,
that means there's a dent in somebody's front.
And you wanted to fire the fabricator, just remember that.
Well, you know, fabricator once in a while. I just don't like cutting this shit apart when we have to.
Yeah, well, you hired the fabricator, just remember that.
I didn't think I had a choice.
You didn't. Other than that, I think as we sit here and we talk about, it is a lot better start to the season than what we had last year. But again, here we are with the people we have backing and supporting this team. I mean, it's without their, what do you want to call it, advertisement, donation, sponsorship, however you want to call it nowadays, because tax shit, whatever. Without them guys, this thing doesn't go around the track. I mean,
Especially this year.
well, and think about this. I mean, we had the car ready to go. We would have been ready to go for opening night when it originally was. Bad news about that is we just showed up at the track without brand new tires. Because, why? You couldn't get them.
No.
Couldn't find them.
They're still hard to find.
Yep, still can't get them. So when we...
And they're a lot more pricey to go with it.
Oh. Yeah, did you see that? Dirks brought us a tire.
I seen that.
He says to me, he goes,
Does it hold air?
I don't know, but he says that's...
Did you say you took out a rim too? Did he bring us a new one of them?
No. But
Son of a bitch.
but all he said to me was this is for me taking a tire out on you last year. Here you go. And if you need any, he goes, I got about 100 of them stacked up in the shop. He said. I asked him. I said, do you make a trip to Illinois or what? Or Indiana? I might have. He says.
Then why did he bring me a used one?
Right. Then why did we get a used one?
The
We
one that
should've
he
got a
took
brand
out
new
was
one.
the brand new one we put on. It was a brand new beadlock and a brand new tire. You didn't even make 4 laps on that bitch when he took it out.
Yeah, I wasn't driving when he took that one out.
Oh, that's right. That was Brad.
Yeah, I was in a
That was
cast.
our- that
I was
was
in
our
a
son.
cast. Remember?
Yeah, that was broken thumb time.
Yep. Other than that, I mean, all in all, I guess can't argue about the first night.
No. First night back
No,
at
we
her, and everybody's kind of first night on the track. There's a lot of maybe things that happen tonight that might not happen, or people getting used to it, people getting used to each other. A lot of new names this year.
Right, a lot of new
In
drivers.
your class compared to last year. There's probably out of the 18 that we had tonight, there's like 5 that I know.
5 or 6, yeah, I didn't know too many.
The rest are all new names that I don't remember ever seeing before. So,
But good start to the season. Top 5 right out of the box. I'm happy with that. Rumor has it, our motor guy said that from the grandstands, he goes, you hear that? You hear that? That's me. That's my job right there. That's rumor has it. He was bragging up in the stands already.
You could hear it?
Yeah,
Pick out the sound?
Well, barely. That's
What
why.
is he, like our other engine guy that he can hear?
Yeah, he can hear shit from like a fucking mile
That's
away.
that car. Do you hear his Misty? You hear that Misty? Like, what are you talking about? Can't you hear that? That guy right there. That number 20 whatever car. Like, what? You can't hear that, he says? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Out of all them cars on the track, you can pick out that one car that sounds a little off? Well, yeah, can't you? He says. Now, the sad part is, at the beginning of last year, I couldn't.
Now you can.
I can now.
Yeah.
Hey, that guy's going to miss.
Again, I can't say. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied. I can't argue. I can't piss and moan. I can't bitch.
I mean, for the first night.
I mean, I can bitch a little bit because my nice straight car
Ain't straight no more.
ain't straight no
Hey,
more.
we're not winning the car show at the Hill next
Nope,
weekend.
no. I mean, we might have to strip her back down, send her back to paint and re-sticker it again just to go to the car show.
I don't think so.
give her a good douse, but sandblast her up, send her on her way.
I have a feeling your paint guy is going to give you another.
I don't think the paint guy would be real happy with that.
Not to mention the sticker maker might go, I don't think I got any more of that green.
Yeah, I know that green is hard to find, she says.
So what do you have to do for the car for next week?
Find a way to get some rear bite in the car. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. She turns on a dime, but
yeah, that's right.
That throttle pedal is not like it was last year. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, and it's
I get it.
Well,
I mean, we got brand new motor built.
Well,
you know,
yeah, you got a fresh motor, new heads.
I mean, after the guy tore the old one apart and found out what was wrong with it, no wonder we were not winning so many races last year. You know, you short yourself 30 horse. Is that what you figured? 30 horse. Short yourself 30 horse on a motor, and I mean, be glad we won one feature last year in a couple of heat races, and a B main up at the hill. I mean, you shortchange yourself like that. I mean, it doesn't make you very competitive. But that's the difference. Though, is last year we had you know, we had the handling on the car. We had the handling. We knew how to turn it. We know how to make it go roundy round. And we found a way to make a slow car fast.
Well, that's just it too, and what worked for last year's
car. And now it's a whole different ballgame.
What worked with last year's car too, now that the motor's got a little more oomph because of the piston rings and everything else.
7 out of 8 compression rings were junk. Fell right off.
So the setups that I was using for the car last year, now I got to counteract that little bit of extra horsepower. So I might have to do a few things a little bit different in order to compensate, to keep the rear end underneath it.
Slight upgrade, maybe. Yeah. Maybe now we do have to go and start to actually do some spring shopping. You know, or maybe we need to put this thing back on a set of scales and start changing springs out in it. Maybe even front end springs, just to see what's going to happen with this car.
Yeah,
we have it scaled out almost perfectly. We do. We know that.
Yeah,
but them scale numbers never change. You know what I mean? Whether we got the horsepower or not, the scale numbers don't lie. We have the car scaled right. Now we just have to figure out how do we get that rear end to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
find a way to get that.
That might be, you know, that might be a couple week of a battle. We might fight that for a couple weeks. But the way you do bookwork, and I know it's already.
You know, if I don't get out of my jammies tomorrow, like we were all talking about it, because it's supposed to be rainy and crappy, and I don't get out of my jammies tomorrow, I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of time, and
that's what I'm saying. Like,
couch tomorrow.
You do so much research, and that's how you figured out to be as good as you were last year. You do so much research on the setups on these cars. Yeah. Hidden story. Don't you wish that street stocks would bring back the rear screw jacks?
It'd be kind of nice.
I mean, we used to be able to run.
I kind of missed that from the first year, half a year car.
Right.
Couple cranks.
Well, she's drying out. Put 12 turns in it. Call it good. You know.
10.
But
8.
Then they take that out of the rule book. So now the only thing we can do is change a spring, add some shims, whatever. Well, we don't necessarily add shims, but we change springs. I mean, we change stagger, we change tire pressure.
Your rule book changed quite a bit this year, didn't it?
Oh, the safety upgrades was just
it was
insane.
The safety upgrades mainly.
I mean, I get it. They want us to be safe, and I actually now having a car that's fully basically up to speed and horsepower. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm not quite used to that Hans device yet, but I can actually feel this thing roll me into my seat now. I'm glad they're upgrading the safety, because last thing I want to do is climb out of that car and get dragged out of that car as a cripple. So safety is important, and as long as it stays that way and they keep updating, and I mean, we stay on top of it, they stay on top of the rules, I think we're good.
Yeah, the only hard part with that is with the cost of goods right now for your race car, and to add all the safety upgrades this year. That full containment seat, they don't give them away.
No,
you know,
they don't give away a Hans device,
and it's. Yeah. I mean, not to mention tires are $35, $40 more than they were last year.
Rims are $20, $30 more than what they were last year.
I mean, any part that you need.
Hell, price of race fuel. Look at how much that gone up to.
You know, it just added a lot of cost to racing, and I just hope that it doesn't
kill the sport.
Yeah, it don't kill it because guys can't afford to keep doing it.
No, I mean, again, here we are. Thank God for the sponsors, because if we didn't have them, this thing probably still be sitting at home on jack stands, and I'd still be thinking about whether or not we were driving it or not. You know, because what did Rosie tell us at Performance? That very first, was that you that was with me the first time, or was it her? We went in there, we asked about what race gas was going to do. And right now, actually, we find it in Kaukauna yet at $7.19 or $7.39 a gallon or whatever, but...
I think she said between 7 and 8.
Right.
That's what they expected.
But, I mean, you go to Performance or whatever right now, that's $9.50, $10 a gallon out the door. You go through 10 gallons a night. And apparently, our new motor here is a thirsty son of a bitch, because we came with 2 full gas cans, and when I kicked one earlier, didn't feel like there was much left in her.
Even the old motor, she did that too.
She drank that much after a heat race?
Oh, yeah.
Holy Christ, that thirsty pig.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll empty both them cans before we...
I have decided, though, I'm no longer calling her cranky bitch.
No?
No, she was pretty well tonight, so we're going to upgrade her to just cranky.
Okay.
We're taking away the bitch part. She's just cranky.
But yeah, here's the week 1.
Week 1, top 5. Nice work, team.
Well, team, be ready for next week.
Anybody want to be a special guest next week? Please message the Brandes Racing page or Dirty AF page. If you would like to come hang out with us after the races and have a little chit chat, talk about the day, talk about the night.
And you don't even have to be in our division. I mean, if you run any other class, if you were interested in coming and be part of it, it's all about the racing community as a whole, not just the street stocks. So feel free to reach out and give your opinion on what you guys got to deal with that we don't necessarily see or hear about.
All right, so we will wrap this episode up by thanking you both so much for sharing yourselves in this way with us and our listeners. And a huge thank you to everyone here listening. Everyone shows us such amazing support while we are all here doing what we love. New episodes of Dirty AF are released on Tuesdays on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Be sure to subscribe where you are listening so you don't miss an episode. And a reminder that we want everyone here listening to come join us in person every Friday night at Gravity Park in Chilton, Wisconsin. The pit gates open at 3, spectator gates open at 5, and the races start at 7. We'll see you then. Thank you.
That's a wrap, bitches.
You have been listening to Dirty AF, the podcast with the Brandes Racing crew. Join us again next week, where we will once again be getting dirty as...